On November 24, 1971, a man hijacked a commercial jet, extorted $200,000, and vanished into a freezing thunderstorm over the Pacific Northwest. He was never identified. He boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 using the name Dan Cooper. Witnesses described him as a white male in his mid-40s, wearing a dark suit, a conventional haircut, and dark sunglasses. After ordering a bourbon and soda at the back of the Boeing 727, Cooper handed a note to a flight attendant. It claimed he had a bomb in his briefcase and demanded she sit next to him. While authorities on the ground scrambled to meet his demands, the plane circled Seattle for hours. The crew told the passengers they were burning off fuel due to a minor mechanical issue, buying time to gather the cash and parachutes. Once the aircraft landed at SeaTac, Cooper exchanged the 36 civilian passengers for the ransom. He then forced the remaining crew back into the air, ordering them to fly low and slow toward Mexico. This was a coldly calculated operation. Cooper didn't act on impulse. He required immense nerve and a precise understanding of the environment to execute the next phase. Somewhere over the dark wilderness of Washington, Cooper lowered the aircraft's rear-aft stairs while mid-flight, a maneuver few passengers would even know was possible. This 3D schematic of the Boeing 727 shows the specific design quirk he exploited. The aft stairs could be lowered against air pressure, a feature making it suited for a mid-air exit. This detail suggests Cooper was an aviation insider. The jump itself truly bordered on madness. Cooper stepped off those stairs into pitch darkness and freezing rain, facing 200-mile-an-hour winds, wearing nothing but a trench coat and loafers. He vanished into the dense, mossy terrain of the Pacific Northwest, leaving no trace behind for the search parties that followed. Survival depended on a highly specific combination of mechanical knowledge, paratrooping experience, and an incredible amount of luck. The FBI launched a manhunt that would last over 50 years, but they were handicapped from the start. Cooper had cannily taken his ransom note back, leaving investigators with almost zero immediate evidence. All he left behind were several cigarette butts, a single hair on a headrest, and a clip-on necktie. Decades after the case went cold, advanced forensics revealed over 100,000 microscopic particles embedded in the fabric of that clip-on tie. These weren't ordinary contaminants. They included rare metals like bismuth and unalloyed titanium. In 1971, unalloyed titanium was found almost exclusively in specialized aerospace manufacturing facilities, a finding that pointed directly to that sector. This evidence redefined the suspect profile. The FBI shifted its focus toward an aerospace manufacturing insider with paratrooper skills and an intimate knowledge of Boeing aircraft. Out of more than 800 suspects, Richard McCoy Jr. stood out. He pulled off a nearly identical skyjacking just 5 months after the Cooper incident. McCoy died in a shootout after escaping prison, but years later, his children claimed to have found a hidden parachute rig on their property that matched the era. Another candidate was Sheridan Peterson. He was a former smoke jumper who had actually worked at Boeing in the department that wrote the flight manual for the 727. Peterson's background matched both the metallurgical profile of the tie and the mechanical knowledge required to lower the aircraft's rear stairs. In 1980, the investigation took a turn when an 8-year-old boy unearthed nearly $6,000 in rotting $20 bills on the banks of the Columbia River. The discovery confirmed the flight path, but the condition of the cash suggested it had been buried by the river shortly after the jump. This implies Cooper may not have survived to spend his reward. Investigators also looked into Robert Rackstraw, a paratrooper pilot with a history of fraud who once faked his own death in a plane crash. Then there was Kenneth Christensen, a Northwest Airlines employee and paratrooper who inexplicably bought a house in cash the year after the hijacking. Christensen's brother claimed that on his deathbed, Kenneth spoke of a secret he could never share, though the confession remained unresolved. While each of these suspects aligns with specific elements of the profile, no single candidate perfectly accounts for the forensic data, the timeline, and the survival requirement. After vetting hundreds of leads and coming up empty, the FBI officially closed the D.B. Cooper investigation in 2016. The crime's most tangible legacy is a mechanical latch mandated on all Boeing 727s, the Cooper vane. Held in place by aerodynamic pressure, this lock ensures Cooper's exit strategy can never be used on a commercial flight again. The mystery remains a choice between two outcomes. Either he perished in the freezing rain, or he successfully navigated the woods and lived out his life in secret. Half a century later, it remains the only unsolved hijacking in the history of commercial aviation. By vanishing so completely, Cooper ensured his story would never be defined by a face. He remains an unresolved mystery in aviation history.